Alrighty, we have a nice heavy duty 14 gauge cord I found in a scrap pile here. And we're going to turn it into a nice heavy duty extension cord. Here in the country I was born in, on your 120 volt heavy duty cords and light duty cords, your white wire is the neutral, your green is the ground, and your black is live. And we'll put this cord together. So first we'll start with one end here. We'll take the female end, put our cord in through the back here. Okay, we don't need our wires this long, so we'll just clip a little off of them here. We'll strip them with our 14 gauge hole here. Strip them the same length. So I got them the same length here. I'll twist my strands together, and I'll bring the camera down close so you can see how it's put together here. Okay, inside the plug you'll see a silver colored screw, a green screw, and a brass colored screw. Your white goes on the silver, your green goes on the green screw, and your black goes on the brass screw. So we'll start with our white wire. We'll put our wire in the hole in the top here, and we'll look, make sure we don't get our insulation under the pressure plate here. I'm going to see if that's the right length there, which it is. So I'll put our white wire in. Make sure our copper is not, our insulation is not pinched under the pressure plate. I'll have to bring it back just a little bit. You don't want to get the insulation under the pressure plate there because it will not make contact if you do. So right there's the edge, and we'll just tighten our screw. Make sure it's nice and tight, and next we'll do our green wire. We'll twist our strands together. I'll hold it up here to make sure it's a good length, and it is. So we'll put it in our hole here, make sure all our strands go in the hole, and make sure our insulation doesn't get pinched under the pressure plate. Make sure it's nice and tight, and I can see a little bit of just like a 1/16 of an inch of copper showing there. And now I'll get our black wire under our brass screw. I'll check my length. It's a little short, so I can take a little more off this black wire, not a whole lot. I'll twist my strands together. We'll put it in our hole here. Make sure all the strands go in and get under the pressure plate here. Okay, I'm going to look and... Okay, right there's where the... Okay, right there is where the insulation starts. I'll look, make sure our insulation's not pinched under the pressure plate there. Okay, it looks like it's under the pressure plate a little bit, so I'll just back it up a here. Bring our wire back just a bit there. Now look. Okay. You just gotta pull it back a bit more there. Okay, there it is. Right there is where we want it, so I'll tighten it up. So we have our black under the brass screw, our green under the green screw, and our white under the silver screw. So now we gotta line this up and put it back in. Okay, there's a little slot right here, and there's like a little key right there. See that little key there? And the slot right here, you just line it up like that. Nope, that doesn't do it. So looks can be deceiving. You just keep turning it until you find it. So you just got to play with it until you find the holes. There they are, right there. Just push it in. And I like how the threads on this, see how nicely it goes in easily like that. And then we'll just tighten our clamp here. We'll get our wire centered here. And we'll just tighten our clamp here. Okay, we'll center it a little bit better here. We'll just loosen this one a little bit. Bring it over so it's centered. And we'll just tighten that one up. And we'll tighten this one up. Now we'll come over here and do our male end. You put this piece on first. Loosen these two screws here. Push your cord in through here. Strip our outer jacket. We'll cut it about right here. We'll just score into it a little bit here. Bend it and we'll break our outer jacket off here. Again, we have our black, which is live, our green, which is the ground, and our white, which is the neutral. We'll strip our wires with our 14 gauge hole. Strip them the same length here like that. Okay, we'll put our black one in the brass terminal here first. Make sure we don't get the insulation under the screw terminal there. Okay. The insulation's up to the bottom of the terminal there, the pressure plate. Tighten it up. We'll take our green wire, twist our strands together, get into our hole, make sure, oops, see how that strand moved? You got to make sure you get all your strands twisted together so they all stay together. Make sure everything goes in the hole. So we make sure we get our insulation up to the bottom of our pressure plate there, but not under the pressure plate. Make sure it's nice and tight. And now we'll finally get our white wire under our silver screw. Make sure our wire strands are all twisted together. Get them in the hole there. Make sure we don't get the insulation caught under the pressure plate. Look, I don't see the insulation under the pressure plate, so I'll just go over our screws and tighten them. Okay, now we can put our plug together here. Sets in nicely like that. And just tighten the screws. And we'll get our cord in the center here coming in. We'll tighten these screws. Get it even on both sides here. So now we have a nice long heavy-duty extension cord. And now I'll show you how to verify that it's hooked up correctly. So there it is, plugged into an outlet that we know is wired correctly. And there's our chart on the polarity tester. And our two orange lights are lit and the red is not lit, so we know it's wired correctly. Alrighty, that is how to wire and assemble an extension cord here in the country I was born in, recycling some cord that was on a scrap pile. Same thing with building a new extension cord, buying some 14.3 or 12.3 SJO cord or SJT cord. Peace. Thanks for watching.